We talk it out, no time to waste. Ooh, yeah. Face to face, we set the pace. Hey, hey. Love so strong, no need to race. We hold it tight in every space, making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last. Making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last.
It's time for another conversation. Welcome to Making It Last podcast, where it's all about helping us to have better relationships, not just with ourselves, but with other people. And this time around, we're talking about something that I think we've gotten so accustomed to this digital world that we are not really paying attention, that it's really impacting our relationships, not necessarily in a positive way, but negatively. And to unpack that topic, we have Adam Ferguson, and I like what he said. He's a dad and he's an author. Welcome, Adam.
Thank you, Noreen. Thanks for having me.
So we're going to be talking about what we've lost to screens and how to reclaim resilience and joy. So let's just take it apart. What have we lost?
Well, you said in the beginning, attention and relationships.
Hmm.
I think as I've come to kind of we're all kind of on this experiment together, right?
Mm.
Understanding phones, understanding technology.
Hmm.
We're learning as we go along.
Hmm.
And what I think we're starting to understand, is what I've come to understand is the phone is like kind of a Swiss Army knife. It's
Wow.
got a bunch of tools inside it that are really effective when you need them. But a lot of us struggle uh, not to use it as an entertainment kind of
Hmm.
attention distractor. And we can get lost in it for, minutes, hours, just drifting in this
Yeah.
digital content slop. And
Yeah.
and it steals your attention, it steals your time. And I don't think anybody wants to look back on their lives and think about all the screen time, all the hours they wasted on their screens.
Hmm. 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 There are people that would say that will watch this and and listen to this and they will say, but you learn so much from, and it introduces to the whole big world that's outside of your immediate space. So what would be your response to that?
Yeah, I know there's definitely advantages to it. Technology is not inherently bad. It just needs to be
Hmm.
managed intentionally. You need to be
I
really
love that.
uh, aware of how you're engaging with it and what you're doing with it. So I think if you're going to spend some time learning about a subject, maybe
Hmm.
think about,
Hmm.
okay, I'm going to spend 60 minutes going deep on whatever subject and getting interested in it. And I'm not going to get distracted by other alerts that come up on the phone during the
Okay.
period. I'm not going to
Okay.
drift over to something else, because that's the trap, right? That's the attention trap.
I like we call it a trap. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of it sometimes because sometimes I'll just say, oh, I'm just checking something. And then time pass, I'm like, okay, all right, it's time to get off the phone.
Yeah, for
Work
sure.
to do. All right. So, how do we reclaim resilience and joy?
Well, I think for adults, it's a little easier.
Hmm.
There's a lot of tools on the market. My wife actually just got something called a brick, which you can touch your phone to it, and it just basically disables it. So
Really
if you want
interesting.
to just force yourself to put some constraints on your own
Hmm.
behaviors, there are lots of tools for doing that. But for kids, I think the kids are really susceptible
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
these technologies, and I think you know, given free reign, they're going to go into hours and hours and hours of screen time without really thinking about the consequences or the effects of it. They're just enjoying themselves. They're playing games, they're taking in content, and they're missing a lot of other stuff. So I think as parents, I talked about the experiment that we're all on. As parents,
Mm-hmm.
this whole issue of raising kids in this environment is completely new to us.
Yeah.
We don't really, nobody has the playbook for this. So I think it's really important for us as parents, I've got three young kids, to lift up your heads and to think
Mm.
intentionally about what kind of childhood am I creating? What kind of resilience do I want for my kids? Where do I want their attention to be? Because eventually they're gonna, go into the world on their own. And
Yeah.
I want them to be equipped. I want them to be strong. I want them to be self-reliant. And that you're not going to get that staring at a phone for 7, 8 hours a day.
We talk it out, no time to waste. Ooh, yeah. Face to face, we set the pace. Hey, hey. Love so strong, no need to race.
So we're going to take a quick break here to hear from your partners.
Welcome to Sound Media, streaming innovation amplified. Body to body, idea to idea, feel the signal come alive. Welcome to Sound Media, turn your living room to sky. If you feel that spark, get free up, let it move you. Don't ask why.
Does your business lack branding? Having difficulty realizing your vision? Look no further. Splint Brand Design Consultancy specializes in developing personal and business brands. Services include strategic management, website creation, social media branding, and more. Visit them online at www.wearesplint.com. Splint, the brand you need to succeed.
Have you not yet booked Miss Noreen Daily for your events? Are you crazy? Miss Noreen Daily is the best at watching. Voila, let me tell you a little more. I handpicked her for a conflict resolution webinar, and she demonstrated exactly what a host should do when hosting. Hello, somebody. She was the life of it all. She did not leave any dead ear even when we had technical difficulties. She's just merely the best. And if you don't book her yet, you're crazy. Run go book Miss Noreen Daily right now.
We talk it out, no time to waste. Ooh, yeah. Face to face, we set the pace. Hey, hey. Love so strong, no need to race.
You actually answered what I was about to ask, which is why then is the resilience and the joy so important? And why, of all the different things, would you say the focus needs to be on those two things? Resilience
Resilience
and
and
joy. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Why?
Resilient, I mean, resilience is the ability to, sort of bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
Resilience is the ability to kind of marshal strength and courage deep inside. And that, in my experience, that comes from experience. You know,
Okay,
the
fair enough.
more things we expose ourselves to in life,
Mm-hmm.
the more we prove to ourselves that we can kind of handle anything. And you only get there if you know, wander into the danger, go into the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I worry with, I've told the story before, but I'm sure you've experienced it, Noreen, in
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica, when you go into a restaurant or maybe see people on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see groups of people together, but they're all alone,
Yeah.
all at the table, but they're all heads down in their own device. And
Yeah.
I think there's that's nobody, kids are especially susceptible to it, and nobody wants this for their childhood. So,
The fact, though, that society, especially now post-COVID, we were, I'm gonna coin a word, virtualized. So everything was virtual. So people have gotten accustomed to virtual events. And even post-COVID, when you can have face-to-face events, a lot
yeah,
of times now people either do a hybrid events or that. So people have gotten so accustomed to, the screen being such an integral part of our lives because it changed how we worship, it's changed how we've, fellowship, so many different things. How easy is it then for people, adults and children, to go against that when society literally pushes you towards the screen.
Yeah, look at us right now. I mean, there- there's good things about it, right? You and I,
Mm-hmm.
we're I don't know how many thousand miles apart we
Most
are,
part.
but
Mm-hmm.
we're talking in real time. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, and it was funny, like I went out to dinner with my wife the other night and we drove and parked the car. And when we got into the parking lot, the only way to pay for the spot was to have a phone.
Wow.
You needed to take a picture of a QR code. And I was like, oh, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't have a phone, you can't. I mean, what do you, I guess you
What
just
are you
get
gonna do?
it, you know? So,
Yeah.
yes, the world, the infrastructure, like we are, convenience is
Mm-hmm.
forcing us to do certain things, and I totally get that. But I think you're also seeing in society a certain, I'm going to call it a clap back to
Okay.
the experience of what we're all kind of going through as an experiment. Like you're seeing more, for instance, more running clubs, at least in my neighborhood. I see a lot more people getting together in the morning and running together because they want that in real life experience. Um, And I think this young generation, Gen Z and even Gen X, which
Mm-hmm.
is my kids,
Mm-hmm.
are a little dissatisfied with, the reality that we've given them.
Yeah.
I think they're starting to form their own playbook. That's a little bit of a reversal. They're pushing back. When I talk to my kids about the 90s, um, and they start to understand like landlines and um, how
Yeah.
things worked. They're a little nostalgic. They're like, "Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. I can go through life without being tracked and surveilled. I don't have to be in a group of kids and worry about a phone being put on me so I can't say certain things. You know, they seem to love it. So I think it's a mix, Nori, and I think we have to appreciate and accept the conveniences like you and I are feeling right now, but be intentional
Mm-hmm.
about it and not, forget the natural world, and force ourselves to kind of live there too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. As we're wrapping up the conversation, Adam, when you think of screen time, do you think the disadvantages still outweigh the advantages, or do you think we're kind of at a balance right now, and people just have to be intentional about screen time?
Yeah, I think moderation is the key
Okay.
to most things. You can say alcohol, is it good or bad? Well, it brings people together and kind of warms up their emotions and softens the edges of a hard day. But it can
Mm-hmm.
also create a lot of problems. Exercise, it can uh, make your body a little healthy, but you can be extreme and
Mm-hmm.
hurt yourself. And so you moderate. You have to moderate. And I just don't think. I think society is really struggling with how to moderate use of this
Mm.
technology. And I think we really have to look at our kids and say, like, moderation is especially important for them. And we have a responsibility to put those parameters in place for them.
Who's the we though?
That is the question, isn't it?
Okay.
Because I think a lot of people wait around for governments to regulate.
Okay. Okay.
We wait and we say the government should be
Mm-hmm.
social media impossible for 16-year-olds to get onto, but that's not happening because there's usually a financial incentive that's keeping them from doing it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think, like most things, the people have to come together, and the we, in this case, is parents who care about their kids.
Yeah. Let's
And
hope.
don't
No,
let,
continue.
yeah, don't wait for the government, don't wait for the school systems, don't wait for, um, you know, the normal kind of infrastructure that we all kind of wait to make rules for us. Like let's take control of this um, and lead our kids.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's hope that this conversation starts that or continues that trend. Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing, Adam.
Okay. Thanks, Noreen.
This was Make It Last podcast, where it's all about helping us to have better relationships, not just with ourselves, but with other people. I'm Noreen Daly. Until next time.
We talk it out, no time to waste. Face to face, we set the pace. Hey, hey. Love so strong, no need to race. We hold it tight in every space, making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last. Making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last.